Alright, so I finished Baccano, and all I wanted to do is just kind of get my thoughts out on this series. That's about it, because there's no reviews to get to right now, because Stay Night's not out. So that kind of, gets rid of everything that I needed to do today, so that's a good thing. But going on to Baccano, my thoughts on Baccano is weird, because there's one word that I could use to describe this, and it's, I'll just put it up on screen, and it shouldn't draw controversy, because a lot of people know that it's true. That's truly what Baccano is, and it's not, how should I say this? I think that for Baccano, it works fine, because they know how to handle it and bring everything together at the end, along as, once it hits episode 9, a lot of stuff starts getting connected, and stuff starts to make sense. The problem is that it takes 9 episodes, in my opinion, or it took 9 episodes for me to figure out what was going on. And so I figured I'm probably going to end up rewatching this next week, just for the fact that I actually understand what is going on. Right now on Mal, I have Baccano at an 8. I'm thinking I'm more so around Baccano being a high 9, because it's so convoluted in a sense that I guess it really makes it hard to enjoy. I wanted to love Baccano, let's get that straight, but the problem with me loving Baccano is that I can't love it if I don't know what's going on, and that was half the problem. That was half the issue. I had no clue what was going on through, like, the first half of the season. And I realized, like, eventually you go on and you start realizing what's going on, but this is something that I think that needs to be said when people go into Baccano. Baccano, if you watch it, you will be confused, and that's natural. It's not that it's not just you. It's not that you're not paying attention. I put 100% effort into this into the show. I rewatched episodes over and over again. I actually rewatched the first episode like 3 times and still had no clue what was going on. It was just like, there's just like, how should I explain this? In Baccano, there's like 4 stories going on simultaneously. One in 1930. There's 2 in one of these time periods. I think there's 2 going on in 1932, and then there's another one going on in 1931. The train incident takes place in 1931. The other stuff, like with Dallas and the immortality stuff, takes place in 1920 or 32, and then some other gang fights or mafia issues in terms of families take place in the 1930s, along with Isaac and Miria. And I think that the way that Baccano handled it, in a sense, was it worked, and it also was a flaw to the show. It worked, but it really confuses the audience, and I've already stressed that enough with Baccano, so I'm just gonna go ahead and move on. Animation was fluid. I have no complaints there. I thought the animation was actually fantastic for a 2007 show, and I think it's probably one of the best animated shows I've seen for the fact that it has personality and it's fluid, not for the fact that it just is, stunning. Kind of like Stay Night. It doesn't have to look stunning for me to be impressed. It doesn't have to look like Stay Night. Just kind of like Shigatsu. Shigatsu doesn't look nearly as good as Stay Night. But is that the issue? No. You don't have to look as detailed as Stay Night does. You don't have to look as insanely, or you don't have to have as much budget as Stay Night does. And I think that Baccano, for what it was, and the time frame that it was made, it worked really well, and I did think that Baccano did a really good job. Now, I've yet to watch the specials, so if anybody is going to, if, like, the production value goes down in the specials, I can't say anything, because I haven't watched them yet. Onto the characters. If I had to compare Durara and, Baccano in any sense, I'd say that the only 2 ways you could compare them are story and characters, and I think that Baccano has it's got a lot better characters than Durara does. Now, don't get me wrong. I think the characters in Durara, for the most part, are more memorable, by far. Like Shizuo, Izaya, and Simon. You got those 3. But in Baccano, you have, what's his name? Firo. You have, Jacuzzi. There's Miria and Isaac, who are just by far hilarious. You have Lad, who's just insane to the point that he actually makes a good character, because he's not insane for the sake of being insane. He's insane, and it seems like that was how he was supposed to be written. Almost everybody in the show, to be honest, is completely insane, and I think that Lad is just a different type of insane. But in terms of characters, Baccano does a really good job. it's got some really unique characters, kind of like Lad. And I don't know why Lad seems unique to me in a sense, because there are villains that are unique, or not unique, but there are villains that kill and are sadistic just for the sake of being sadistic. But Lad just kind of felt different in that regard. He felt sadistic, but in a way like he's sadistic because it's not for the sake of the story that he's sadistic, is what I'm trying to say. It's like, in a Comic Got Kill, you have the guy, the Scar ripoff, and he was just sadistic for the sake of the story progressing and him being a villain. Whereas Lad just kind of seems like he's sadistic because he himself is just convoluted, and he doesn't know it. But yeah, that's what I wanted to kind of like get out. It's like Baccano's characters aren't really like most of the other characters you see in an anime. Most of them develop, so you don't have to worry about that. Miria and Isaac are by far like the highlight of all the characters in the show. I'd say Lad is probably fourth. I think I really wanted more of Firo. I really did. And I think that's one of the problems with Baccano, the fact that I love the characters, but they all don't have enough screen time. It's just like, because you have to fit 4 stories into one. The only characters that I felt like got adequate screen time were really what's his name, Lad, and Isaac and Miria. They got a lot of screen time, but I wanted more screen time from Firo, and I wanted more screen time from Maiza, the little boy. You know, not everybody got the adequate amount of screen time. Nobody got the equal amount of screen time like I felt they should have, but that's because the show's 13 episodes. In terms of art, it didn't look fantastic, but there were some really good looking scenes in there, and that's why I thought, in terms of like art and stuff, this is why I say like I wouldn't really compare this show to Durara, other than the fact that they do have gangs, and it's a matter of who does the more who does the better impersonation of gangs or a mafia. And I think that Baccano does better in terms of gangs and mafias, but I think Durara does good in its own regard. I still don't think the two are really that comparable, regardless of them being by the same author, but that's just me. But yeah, I did like the OC, however. I will be downloading that after I finish editing out this video. I'm probably not going to do much for this video. I don't know what exactly I'm going to have. I might have some pictures, have some gameplay, I don't know. But yeah, those are really my thoughts on Baccano. I didn't want to really do a review because in the case of Baccano, I don't know how I could review this show, because I feel as if like, because there are 4 stories going on at once and they all get meshed together at the end, I don't know how to grade something like this, where for the like 9 episodes you have no clue what's going on, but once you get to the 9th and the 10th, everything makes sense now. And so I don't know how I grade a show where it's really hard to enjoy from the fact that I don't understand what's going on, but that the action that's going on itself is really good. And I don't know how to grade that. That's why I don't really want to do a review on Baccano. But yeah, that's my thoughts. This is completely unscripted. The only thing I'm really good at, I'm going to be editing this, but yeah, not hardcore editing, but you get the point. On Mal, I gave Baccano an 8, but it won't save on my anime list. I don't know what's the deal there. I can't save any scores right now. I've been debating between high 7, 8 flat, and I think I'm more so towards the high 7, but yeah, the only reason I'm giving it an 8 on my anime list is so I can kind of establish the difference between people when they compare Baccano to Durara. I want them to know for a fact Baccano is better, but it's better not just in comparison, it's just a better show. But it would have benefited from more episodes, and I think that's where a lot of Baccano's problems come from. I also don't understand why the stories that they have are so, how should I say this, in chronological. Why aren't they chronological? They put up the timestamps on screen in like the year, so you know when a year or what events are going in front of each other, but why not just set the show like that? I don't understand. I think it's just so they know, just so the arcs don't feel too short. But anyways, it worked out. Baccano, good show. I gave it an 8 out of 10 on Mal. I'd probably end up giving it like a 7.9 out of 10, somewhere around there. But yeah, anyways, thank you guys for watching. If you guys did enjoy, please leave a like, comment, and as always, I will see you guys in the next video. Deuces. Oh, also, if you have any other 13 episode series that I have not watched yet, or 13 or 12 episodes. 13 episodes or less is really preferred for what I'm trying to watch right now. Go ahead and suggest it in the comments, because I'm trying to catch up on some series that I have not watched. I might go to Madoka Magica next, but the problem with that is that I've been spoiled on literally everything in that show, so that's going to be a hard watch, but I'll see you guys later. Deuces.